You know, I think it's kind of funny that we're all a bunch of nerds. Go!
Welcome back to another segment of the Sports Nerd Podcast. Today, I'm sitting with a guy whose football career I got to see from the high school level. It was an amazing high school career to watch. Back when I worked at 90.9 The Light, I called LCA games. And now I'm sitting here with Zach Rice, five-star recruit, now with Syracuse Orange, with a football program that has really developed into something special. With Fran Brown, who's only been there for 1 year, but he's already developing a special culture there. And now we're going to get to see a native from Lynchburg be a part of that culture. Today, I'm sitting here with Zach Rice. First off, Zach, how are you doing, man? How was practice today?
Could you repeat that again, sir?
How was practice today, man? How are you doing?
Man, I've been doing good. I'm very blessed. We haven't had practice today. We start at 3 today. We usually have like a little bit of a later day on Wednesdays. Yes, sir. But yeah, everything been good. I just came from tutoring. Yes, sir. So.
All right, awesome. How are you enjoying your time in Syracuse? Like, what's it been like in the city outside of practice and everything? The whole new landscape, a whole new environment.
Right.
What's that been like for you?
Actually, to kind of like resemble it, I feel like it's kind of more of like a downtown Lynchburg type of scheme. Just
Yep.
like the way it's kind of built and just kind of how, you know, how Lynchburg just always wants to keep that authenticity to it and just kind of
Yeah,
keep original things. So I'll say Syracuse kind of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Just maybe
yeah,
Syracuse, you could tell, just has higher buildings and you know what I'm saying? More
absolutely.
skyscrapers and stuff like that. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, now that you're in Syracuse football, you've been in college football for about 3 years with Carolina, now
Right.
Syracuse. Outside of high school, that was the last time I called a game that you were a part of. What was the
Right.
pace, transition of the speed of the game like from high school to college? Was it higher, more difficult than expected starting out? Was it easier to adapt? Like, what was it like
I
for
would
you, man?
say I would say I would say it was definitely hard for anybody that's 17 trying to come in, you know what I'm saying, competing with
Yeah,
ages of 24, 25-year olds. But I would say just with my mindset and my mental, I ended up, you know what I'm saying, adjusting very fast. I would say that I had to work on my body a lot just to make sure that every like piece of my body, every part of my body is strong enough to make sure I'm durable for the season. So I would say my biggest things right now have really just been attacking rehab and just attacking mobility, really to just make sure like this season I can, you know what I'm saying, last the whole
yeah,
season. And I just want to go as far, you know what I'm saying, as possible, make sure I'm here.
absolutely. Absolutely. You want to make sure that you're ready, you're easy to adjust to it, in other words. Like you want to make sure you're strong and healthy,
Absolutely.
easily adjustable.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely, sir.
Do you think do you do you think Syracuse has made that easier for you as far as the program goes, the sports health department and everything?
I think so. I absolutely think so. I just think the things we have here and the resources we have here, I think even like we can talk about nutrition as well because people
Yeah,
don't really realize that. But nutrition is a huge part about staying healthy and having healthy joints and feeling good. And I would say just even having a really good nutrition program here with like real foods and real, you know what I'm saying? I'm really on a mission right now to drop weight. And I feel like that'll help me with just making sure my body feels good. I don't feel sluggish. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I've already dropped around
yeah,
10 plus pounds. So yeah, I'm just really like I was saying, nutrition, that's a huge factor into it, sir.
Zach, I'm trying to lose weight myself. I've got a wedding about 11 months from now. And
Okay,
so
okay.
let me ask you this, like nutrition wise, what would you recommend is the fastest way to lose weight? What's worked for you? And maybe I can add that to my diet.
So really for me, the biggest thing I learned through this, and especially having two very good nutritionists at the University of North Carolina and here at Syracuse, I would say the biggest things that are like must if you're trying to drop weight and is very important is a lot of water, a lot of fruit, and don't eat after 8 o'clock. That's very
Yeah, that's
important. Yeah, so
yeah.
so
I
I
feel
try
like
to
that's
I try to
definitely
say
something
that
I got to work on.
right. So I try to I try to kill I try to kill 2 gallons of water a day. Um and I try to drink or I try to eat fruit
Yeah.
2 to 3 times a day. And then I try not to eat really past 7:30. But
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Just with the strict
Yeah.
regimen of pretty much I don't get out every day until 6 o'clock. So I might break that rule sometimes, but I would
Yeah.
say really just after 8 o'clock, not eating because most of the time after eight, you really just laying down, you know what I'm saying? So just having that, you
Yeah.
having food pretty much sit on you, that's not, you know what I'm saying? You're not burning calories at the
Yeah.
time. So
No, you're usually laying down sleeping or doing probably just chilling on the couch most of the time if you're
right.
like me or watching the NBA finals currently. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah.
yeah. Definitely something I got to work on. I admit, like when I get home from work, sometimes it's real late, so I definitely got to work on not eating after 8. But sometimes it's hard, man. Like you
Right.
said, you get out of practice at 6, and then it's like, okay, I've got an hour and a half now at this point to try and
Right.
get something in my body. Do I need to cook something real quick? Do I just need to eat like
Right.
a pack of fruit, drink some water? Yeah, no, diet's definitely important, and it looks like you've got it all down pat. Like, does that come from your days at LCA? Like, did that nutrition really start there, or was that
Mm,
UNC that it carried over to Syracuse?
I'm gonna be real, sir. I always wanted to make sure like that I was always putting good things into my body. So I mean, even I feel like without any information of nutrition, you know what's good and bad for the body. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I kind of stayed off of
absolutely.
that regimen, like you know what I'm saying, like no candy and stuff like that. But once I got down here and I really realized like I can I can still eat those things, but it's all about portion. So
Yeah,
like just seeing what people do here, like you can't get 2 scoops of macaroni or like a carb like that. You get 1 scoop to have that carb
yeah,
so you can use it to burn and use energy instead of having too much carbs
yeah,
and then it transforms into fat. So I would say that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And then even like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm really strict on
yeah,
my diet, but of course, you know what I'm saying? Me being, you know what I'm saying? Any human wants a sweet treat sometime. So it's just very
absolutely,
important that you don't go overboard. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. You know what was a
right,
sweet treat? Watching y'all at LCA, man.
right,
You, Gavin, Davis Lane, the Davidson brothers, all of that. Rocco,
right.
you guys, Coach Rocco, that was a story in itself each season. Do you still have that relationship with Coach Rocco? Y'all still talk on the low from time to time?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when I was during this portal process when I hit the transfer portal, he was checking up on me every day. I feel like honestly, he's a father figure to me. I feel like there won't ever be a time where me and Coach Rocco, you know what I'm saying, won't be like this. You know what I'm saying? Coach Rocco,
Yeah,
I've trusted in Coach Rocco since a very young age. My family trusts in Coach Rocco. My uncle's known Coach Rocco even before I was born. So I mean, I feel like this is one of those things we're family. So absolutely, every little decision I make, whether you know what I'm saying, that's a school or
yes.
athletic wise, I try to let him know because I feel like he was a very big reason of why I got here. So
He seems like a great father figure inside and outside of football to have.
Absolutely.
Just speaking with him, like he just seems wise beyond his years. So
Absolutely.
I can only
Yeah,
imagine. Yeah, no, go for it. Is there like
absolutely.
a story that you like sharing that you have with Coach Rocco you don't mind putting out in public? Like what's a story you have that is probably like
Oh,
your number one memory
right.
of Coach Rocco?
I would say my number one memory of Coach Rocco is when I was in ninth grade, and so he had me and a senior rotating that tackle. At the time, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm on varsity, but I really did not know my potential. So
Mhm.
so at the time, we were just rotating, and he ended up giving me a chance to play a lot in our first scrimmage versus Appomattox. And I just remember, Remy, one of our wide receivers, he ended up catching a ball, and he had ran all the way down the field, and I tried to run all the way down there with him. And I just kind of remember him giving me like some praise like that, just because I was really young, and he was just like, he's hustling more than you younger guys. But one thing I really remember from that point is that me and Coach Rocco used to meet every day, every day. I'm talking about during school. Like, so during my lunch break, every single day, we was going over plays. Every single day until I got it. From ninth grade year to 10th grade year, every single day. And I would say that was something that really, I would say, stuck out to me because like he made it known to me that like talent wise, and you know what I'm saying, just talent wise, I got it. And I obviously got a lot of things to work on, but I have it. But it's really like Coach Rocco really let me know that it's bigger than that. It's really a huge mental piece to the game. And I truly appreciate him for that. And another thing I would say
You
is
talked
just
about
like,
Rocco being
would you say, sir?
I said I interrupted you. I didn't realize I was
Oh,
interrupting you.
okay.
I'm sorry. Go for it. What were you going to say?
I just remember his wife, Mrs. Rocco, she used to make us these cakes like the day before the game, and that was amazing too. Yeah, so I would just say I always remember him inviting us over, and we would always have a nice meal and stuff. So that was great.
You talked about Rocco being a big part of your transfer portal decision. We talk about the transfer portal itself. Do you feel like, especially with the date, especially in this day and age where you're not limited to like transferring one time or you don't have to sit out a year, do you feel like that leaves open possibilities, or do you feel like that's also, I guess what I'm trying to say, is it a pro or is it a con in the transfer portal? And what's the one thing that people don't realize for players that enter the transfer portal? Like, how much does it affect the mind looking for a new home?
I would say I would say what people don't know about the transfer portal is that it's not like how you're getting recruited when you're in high school. So the biggest thing is that you really have, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks to make a decision. It's very fast. You have to be very certain. If you do not make a decision, they will probably, you know what I'm saying, ultimately find somebody else to fill the roster spot before you make your
Yeah,
decision. Because these teams, they need to know, like, they know at the end of a spring or a fall, they know exactly what pieces of the team that they need. So like
yeah.
they're looking and they're searching just how you're looking and searching at schools. So ultimately, if I had to give anything out, I would just say that this is strictly a business.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely with the window gaps and everything. I can imagine it's fast paced. So when did you know?
Absolutely.
When did you know Syracuse was the one? Because, and I imagine if you look at our background behind us, if you can see it, it's the football
Right.
stadium, the JMA Dome. Did you get to see that on your recruiting trip? And what was your
Absolutely.
first?
Absolutely.
What was your first spot
Yeah.
stepping on there, and Coach Brown and all that?
I think when I first got down here, I thought it was a very cool experience to walk into that stadium, especially, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
being on the turf or like the grass of the stadium, man. It was just like, man, I could really see myself playing here. And I just remember I had my mom and my brother with me, and the person that was like hosting us on the visit had told us to yell, like just to hear the echo of the stadium. And it was just like, man, it was crazy just hearing my mom yell in the stadium and hearing the echo. So I can only imagine when you add my mom that's loud and energetic, plus, you know what I'm saying, 50, 40,000
Yeah,
other fans. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
I absolutely. What
right,
what's it like? What was it like meeting Fran Brown? I mean, he seems like such an energetic guy, such a passionate person.
right,
Like, and I remember when I was there when you made your decision to Carolina, and one of
mhm,
the important traits that your mom told me mattered to you because I didn't get to speak to you because all the television personnel were like all over you, and we never got to speak. But your mom said that Coach Brown was very personable with y'all compared to other coaches. I imagine
right,
Coach Coach Fran Brown was very personable with y'all, and I imagine that was a key part in your
absolutely.
decision.
I would say that was absolutely a key part of my decision just because of his authenticity. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like I feel like in some cases in this world, not a lot of people are authentic. I know with him every day, he gonna tell me what I need to fix. He's gonna tell me what I need to work on, and I feel like ultimately I needed somebody like Coach Brown by my side to ultimately make me a better person and a better man. I feel like he's a natural born leader, and I feel like in some and really in a lot of ways, I feel like in a lot of ways we're alike and we connect. And I feel like we've had similar upbringings and similar understandings that, you know what I'm saying? I would say people with the similar upbringings and similar understandings usually, you know what I'm saying, connect together really good. And I would say that was a huge decision on why I picked here.
The relatableness was a huge connection for you guys then. That was the massive like factor.
Right.
That's
I would
awesome,
say
man. No, I
I would say
that's
a
awesome.
huge thing here. I would say a huge thing here. Everything is built off of hard work. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in the real
Yeah,
life too, everything is built off of hard work. Um, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't given things. I feel like
no,
even you know what I'm saying? Even in my life, I may have had a big name and image and likeness in front of me, but even when you come to college, you're not given anything. You're not given respect. You're not given. You know what I'm saying? You have to earn those things. So I would say it's very
yeah.
important that I had somebody like that in my corner.
Mm, absolutely, absolutely. What's the energy like with this team compared to? I guess. Let me ask, what's the energy in practice here at Syracuse compared to maybe UNC, for example? What's different about this realm?
I would say I would say what's really different is is how we work. You know what I'm saying? I would say that's the
Yeah,
biggest difference. Is how we work. We work hungry. Um, we work like it's somebody constantly watching us. I would say that we here all day. You
hmm
not even anything about my old school. A lot of schools they get their
yeah,
workouts done in the morning and they done around 1 or 2 or 12 noon. I would say, man, we in here all day watching film, studying film, working out, walking through, you know what I'm saying, working on
yeah,
technique, and it's an everyday thing. So I would say it's not a lot of people, it's not a lot of people that's coming in on Saturdays as well. And as a whole
right,
team and doing a whole practice by ourselves with no coaches out there. So I would say that takes a lot of leadership and that takes like
yeah.
well, that just takes a lot of trust within your players to do something like that and run plays and be diligent for a whole hour while there's no supervision. So
Did Liberty? Did I guess what I could ask, did Liberty ever try to bring you home during the transfer portal? Are you allowed to like say that? If not, it's cool. I was just curious if Liberty tried to offer you out there with the fact of, hey, come home and we'll play you and everything.
Right. That's really a hard subject. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
actually Liberty did not hit me up at all. So I
cool.
thought I thought it was hard. I didn't understand why out of all
Yeah,
places they wouldn't hit me up. But I understand it's a new staff,
yeah,
and I kind of felt like I needed to stay on the same level because
absolutely.
I'm really ready for this level. So I feel like
Yeah,
God works in mysterious ways, and I feel like my uncle and my mother went there. I mean, it would have been cool to follow in their footsteps, but I feel like at the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me and what's best for me. So,
creating your own destiny. Absolutely.
all right,
Yeah, absolutely. Creating your destiny. Like, I feel like, I feel like that's great to know in a way because being able to have that confidence to be like, look, Ma, I would follow in your footsteps, but I feel like my destiny lies over here. And I know she's supportive of it. And
all
you
right,
obviously you've shown that you have the talent to be on a power four level and being able to transfer from power four to power four, that's awesome. That's amazing to be able to do. Not a lot of guys
right.
get that opportunity. So I can imagine the excitement you must feel, the hunger you crave. I can only imagine what's going through your mind now. And y'all have a great schedule coming up. We'll get into that in one quick second. I just, I think I'm curious for this, Zach. And maybe you can help answer this as an offensive lineman. Why are pancakes not counted as a stat, man? I feel like they're so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
And like, why is that not counted as a stat yet, man? Like, that's crazy to me, especially when you see it on ESPN displayed
right,
more and everything. I feel like now offensive linemen they're getting their much needed
right.
recognition. I mean, the NFL just
Yeah,
announced, hey, the NFL just announced the offensive line award, which is going to happen for the
right.
first time ever. So,
That's what I'm
when do you think they're
saying.
going to
Yeah,
start recording pancakes?
I think that's
Oh,
unfortunately, I know, like for me, I've always had to record my own pancakes, or I would
yeah,
have. I mean, obviously, as an offensive line room, the O line coach will always record and tell you how
mhm,
many pancakes or what he would consider to be a
yeah,
pancake. So I would say, as an offensive line room, as an offense, it's highly praised by the team. You know what I'm saying? And it's highly praised by media
yeah,
to get a pancake. But I feel like there's
yeah,
like not a stat for it, just how people have sacks. And I feel like that's kind of weird just because I mean, if you really think about it, if somebody has a eight sack season, I mean, you're really good praise for that. I mean, but you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? If I get some pancakes in a game, I mean, it's kind of my doing my job. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
I would just say, I wish, or I hope in the future, people just show the O line some more love. You know what I'm saying? Because we're really selfless. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely. You're in the trenches when you're on the O line.
right,
I don't think people understand what happens in the trenches.
right,
Can you paint that picture for me? What it's like between O lineman and D lineman during a game, battling it out in the trenches. We're looking at all the action around you guys, but what's
right.
happening when you first make contact?
I would say we're going to war, and it's very important. Like low man wins.
Mhm.
You got to think about it. If we have the ball for 100 plays, I mean, you got to move this. It's not. We're not looking as offensive linemen to just move somebody out of the way. You know what I'm saying, or move them away from the running back or the quarterback. We're looking to dominate. So I would say the most important thing is making space. You know what I'm saying? Making
Yeah,
room. So getting that defensive lineman um tripped up and moving him five yards down the field. It takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of strain. So I mean, that's something in college football that you really have to practice and practice and practice on, because you can do a lot of conditioning and stuff like that, but moving a 300 plus pound man isn't easy. So I would definitely say that people don't have a realization. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, offensive. It's like you said, offensive line. They have the hardest jobs, and they have the most important job, protecting your quarterback, running back, so
right,
forth. Because how can you move the ball down the field if no one's protecting you to give you that opportunity?
right.
So now you're here with Syracuse. I want to touch on the schedule because it's a really interesting schedule, Zach. I know with Carolina the past 2 years, 2023. It felt like y'all never left North Carolina. Even neutral games was in Charlotte at Bank of
Right.
America Stadium. But now, or like Minneapolis, Minnesota, y'all went down to play Minnesota last year. Now you're here at Syracuse,
Right.
who just came off an amazing season led by Kyle McCord. They gave y'all a
Mhm.
schedule, man. Y'all are going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium to take on Tennessee, man. And then you got to go
Right.
to at Notre Dame, at Death Valley with Clemson, at Hard Rock Stadium with Miami. Are you excited for that road trip type schedule? Especially you get to play in another NFL stadium, the Mercedes Benz, and then some of
Right.
these top destinations like Notre Dame. So, what are you excited for the road trip? Excited to play in these high intense stadiums on the schedule?
Absolutely. I feel like it's a good test for us as men, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah,
as players of football. I would say it's going to be a really good test, and I feel like a lot of people on this team, my teammates, came here for this opportunity. Um, I feel like it's not what you do. It's not what you do in low moments. You know what I'm saying? It's what you
yeah,
do in these big moments. Um, and that's why I feel like I came here as well. You do very good at what you do very good versus some very high praise competition. I mean, it really helps your draft stock, and it really just helps with your confidence going throughout the season. So I would say me, you know what I'm saying, and the team having
yeah.
that game versus Tennessee, us building that confidence right here, like during the summer, just constantly grinding. But once we get into that game and really just seeing us all just come together, it's gonna be very, very, very fun. And I feel like we all work for it. So it's gonna be great to see work pay off. So
What game are you the most excited about, Zach? When you look at the schedule, what do you lick your chops over?
right. I would say it's really that first game. I'm gonna be real to you, TJ. I'm always
Mhm.
the type of person that's be where your feet are. I always tell
Yeah,
myself that. So I'm looking forward to that first game. That is an SEC team. So
yeah,
yeah, I would say either way, I'm very excited for the University of Tennessee.
absolutely. It's looking at your home schedule. Duke, UNC. Are you excited to play your former team, or is it just another game for you? Even if it's Bill Belichick on the head coaching sidelines.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very excited.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: the NFL state in playing at NFL Stadium, y'all played at Bank of America a couple years ago when you were
Mhm.
on UNC. Now you're playing at the Falcon Stadium, Mercedes Benz. Is it different to you to play at an NFL stadium, or is it just like playing at any other college stadium? You don't think about it; you're just worried about the game.
I think I think it's two parts of it, to be honest. It's two parts of it. So like you said, I played in those stadiums. I played in baseball stadiums too. I played at the Red Sox. I played at the Padres Stadium.
Yep.
But it's one thing when you pull up to the game and you have your suit on and you walk out and it's like, wow, this is crazy. That first 30 minutes when you get there, it's like, wow, this is crazy. You go check out the stadium, it's crazy. Then it's like after that, you get in them stretch lines, you start stretching, you get your body right and stuff like that. Then you really like start to key in on what's really important. So I would say it's two things to it. It's like it's a dream come true, but it's like when every second we getting closer to that game, the more serious and the more focused I'm getting to really worrying about my opponent. So
Yeah.
we could be in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? We could be in the
Yeah.
backyard. We could be, you know what I'm saying, at home, or we could be away. And you just kind of gotta be where your feet are and realize, I mean, it's still grass, it's still turf. I mean, it's just a different location. So
That's awesome. I know couple more questions for you because I know you've got a busy schedule
right.
coming up today. I'm curious, man. What's your pregame regimen? Like, what do you do to get ready for a game? Is there a specific song you listen to, etc.?
As- I would say one thing, like my biggest pregame ritual, like I do this every single time. Me and my mom, we always text back and forth before games. Um, that's like very important to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, music, I kind of just keep it going. I kind of keep it going. I get into some moods like right before the game. I want my high tempo, you know what I'm saying, rap
yeah,
music, like upbeat and stuff like that. Before I might be on some like listening to some Drake, you know what I'm saying? Just
yeah,
some
yeah,
kickback, something kickback until it's really that moment to
yeah.
really, you know what I'm saying, lock in. So
Something to relax your body, in other words, before you go out
right,
there. Absolutely.
right. I don't ever want to be too tense or you know what I'm saying, too
Yeah.
ready to go at the wrong moment.
We've talked about your mom, and you've talked about how important she's been to you. Can you
Right.
describe the kind of relationship, the solid rock that she's become in your life as you've described her before? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. My mom and my grandmother mean so much to me because really my mom and my grandmother was also a father figure to me.
yeah,
Not having that father figure in the house, my mom really taught me a lot on how to be a man because of her father and really my uncle and just kind of seeing the ways. My mom told me at a young age that the only way I was going to school really was if I got a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Because my
yeah,
mom got a full scholarship. All my family members that played sports received a full scholarship, and she let it be known to me that it's very important that everything that you can do is very important and that you can do it. And I really appreciate her for being a mentor for me and being so tough because me and her, we had that conversation. I told her, like, I don't know why you so tough on me. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? But once I realized, like, the reason why she was so tough on me and how she just saw my potential, like now me being older, I truly appreciate her because I feel like without her guidance, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So
absolutely. And that really does touch the spirit because as someone who's grew up with a single mother, my father's been out of my life for a long time. So that hearing that kind of relationship, I mean, really does touch strings because my mom had to be my father figure too, Zach, and
right,
I just it it just means the world to you. And like she's pushed me to be where I am today. I wouldn't be where I was without her. So hearing you talk about your mom, talk about how much of a solid rock she's been. I mean, it's just
right.
amazing to hear her take the mantle of both parental roles. And you're a great young
Absolutely.
man. You're a great young man, Zach, and you can definitely tell that she really instilled those values into you. I just want to go ahead and let you know that speaking with you the past few minutes, I can see those values. I can see what she's instilled, man. And honestly, man,
Man, I appreciate that, TJ.
you mirror it very well. I just want to go ahead and say that. You mirror it very well.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, Zach, before I let you go, I'm curious, man. Outside of Zach Rice, the football player, outside of Zach, well, let me ask you this before I get into that real quickly. Zach Rice. So, Zach, Is there a player else that you model your style after, or is it just, I'm gonna create my own style and go out there and play the way I love to play? Is there a
Right,
player that how like people have idols, people have
right,
players they like to mentor their game after? Is
right,
is there somebody for you, or is it just, I'm gonna go out there, create my own?
right. I feel like me growing up, I always model my game after Trent Williams. I feel like that was always a great example for me and who I wanted to be. I feel like the older I got, I kind of like realized and like had certain gestures or like learned certain moves that I liked as an individual that kind of made me the type of player that I am today. So I would
Yeah,
say Trent Williams definitely kind of showed me that physicality part of the game. But I would say that I kind of have equipped my own bag to a lot of it too. So I would say
yeah.
most definitely though.
Who is Last question? This is the last question, believe it or not.
Mhm.
Who is Zach Rice outside of football? Like, if I were to run into you, what hobby would you be working on? Or where could I see you the most outside of football?
Where you would probably see me, bro. Not gonna lie, you would probably see me at a little dog park, walking my dog, bro, chilling, or
Oh,
or playing a game with my friends, man. I would say,
yeah,
other than that, yeah. Shoot, I'm either at a good food spot, walking my dog, taking
yes,
care
sir.
of her, or I'm on the video games with some of my like current teammates or past teammates. So I like to stay in touch with everybody.
Yeah,
And when I get some time off, I like to play the game just because I can play the game and get treatment at the same time. I got, you know what I'm saying? So I
yeah.
like to at least be doing something while I'm playing the game.
Have you played the new college football game? Let me ask you this real quick.
I have not played 26, but I did play 25. I think 26 is supposed to come out in the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's coming out in
Yes,
the
sir.
next few weeks. How wild is it to see yourself in a video game, Zach?
I think it's crazy. I think it's a dream come true. I think it's crazy, man.
That's awesome.
I can't believe it. I feel like, man, I think about it in real life too. I'm like, man, I'm gonna keep grinding to get my rating up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
in real life too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep grinding to get my overall up. So yeah.
From right now, from NCAA football, one day, Madden, ladies and gentlemen, and you can draft him on your fantasy football teams like I do when I play Madden. I do fantasy football.
Right.
So, like, I could put, for example, Russell Wilson on the Dallas Cowboys if I wanted to. Maybe. We'll see.
Right.
But with that being said, Zach, thank you for doing this with me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for doing a checkup, seeing how you're doing at life outside of football, man. A lot of promise for you. I'm rooting hard for you, man. And if you happen to be at ACC Media Days, I look forward to
Yes,
seeing
sir.
you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you so much, TJ. I had a great conversation with you today.
Same here, man. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.